Here's a Phoenix Crosshair, some ability tips and combos to get you started with this new character as Season 3 goes live. The Crosshair is very simple because, well, she's hit scan, so a nice green dot will suffice. However, we do have a circle here that's slightly transparent because this will help you to understand the radius of the secondary for the AoE blast on it. So basically what this means is this is going to showcase the radius of the blast on the floor. Now, depending if you're a little bit higher or lower, it can kind of skew the view a little bit. But basically, as long as we aim like alongside the target, if it's in the circle, it will hit them, right? If they're in the circle, it'll hit them. If they're outside of the circle, it won't hit them. We'll just wait for the true spawn. So here we'll only hit this one. So this is going to help you to just try and gather more targets in an area to get more on the AoE here. Although it's not that hard, to be honest. It's pretty simple to straightforward. But if you want a quick look to be like, oh, is this going to hit? Right, if I hit here, then I know, yes, it is. Right, if I aim here, I know, no, it's not. Right? Just in case you see two targets, you want to make sure that you get both of them in the AoE. It's just a little bit of a useful thing there. Now we're going to talk about ability tips and combos. So, oh, actually, let me show you these settings of the Crosshair first. It's pretty straightforward. I'll just go through them now. I'll put the code in the... hang on, let me just open everything and then I'll go through slowly, okay? I'll put the code in the description as well for those that just want to copy and paste it. Right, I'm going to go through slowly. There we go, it's glitched. We'll go through now, slowly. I know some people like me to show the settings and some people like the code, so I'll put both. Well, I'll put the code in the description. Okay, now let's talk about some ability tips and combos. There are a lot of combos that work with Phoenix, and basically there are three things. Well, actually, you can combo all of the abilities. So the secondary, if I hit it on target, it's going to do 2 bursts, right? It travels like this, out in a triple burst, but if I hit on target, you're always going to get a double hit on them, which is enough to charge this thing so that when you hit them, you're going to get that explosive damage. So keep that in mind. So you can lead with this and then go into a primary instantly, okay? So if you lead with a secondary, you can immediately fire the primary after. Now, if you do it the other way around, if I primary, there's a bit of a delay before you can do the secondary. So if you want to get the most bursty damage in as short time as possible, you always want to lead with the secondary and then hit with the primary. So that's sort of like the first combo tip here. Lead with a secondary and then you can hit with the primary immediately after. In fact, you can't even see like how quickly it happens. Just pay attention to my ammo count on the bottom and you'll see, right? Like I actually got the primary attack off as the secondary is still sort of going out, which is pretty crazy. That is a very, very crazy thing. Right. Now, another thing is the melee will also add a mark, right? And hang on a minute. If they are already double marked, the melee will also cause the explosion, right? So that's something really, really interesting is that you can play up close and potentially do a secondary primary melee, and you're going to almost one-hit a squishy, okay? So it's literally secondary, primary, melee. And they all go off together before the secondary is even finished. Which is an insane amount of damage, right? It's really, really easy as well. You just go secondary, primary, melee. And they all sort of chain together really well with very little time between. Now, you can take that even further. If you get up close to a target, you can go secondary, primary, melee, and then shift backwards. So if you hold backwards as you shift, you'll shift backwards. And this will, hang on a minute. Sorry. This will detonate the tag as well. So let me just activate the tag. I'll go back like that. It'll explode and detonate the tag. So everything changes together really well. So the sort of like easiest combo you can always start, depending on how much time you've got or where you're sitting, is primary, secondary. If you're up close, you can then go primary, secondary, melee. And if you've got the dash available, you can then go, secondary, primary, melee, dash backwards, right? And that's going to be an insta-kill on a squishy, right? So it will be secondary, primary, melee, dash backwards. I guess you need one headshot in there to make it an insta-kill, actually. Let's do this a bit slower so we can see. So we go secondary, and then we go primary, and then melee, and then dash backwards. So there, they'll be on 1 health. If you get 1 headshot on there, they'll be eliminated. It's a very bursty attack, so they're unlikely to be out-healed. At full speed, it looks like this. I think because I didn't hit him on target there, we only got 1 burst. So it's very important you actually hit them on target with this secondary. So let me show you this again. So that's why you want to hit on target. And it's pretty much hit scan as well. If there's a flyer in the sky, you can still hit your secondary on them. So that's useful, right? You can still go like, you can still do the secondary primary combo, which is cool. Like even if there's a flyer, wait for it to respawn, you can still go secondary primary for the extra burst of damage. And then you can follow up with another primary as well. Like it really is that simple. So if you see a flyer, you know, there's like a Johnny going around, you can just be like secondary, primary, primary. I missed there. Secondary, primary, primary. It's pretty awesome. I think instead of trying to get too like into each combo, because you know how the game is going to be, right? You're not always going to just pop off combos. Like in the firing range, it's easier. They're standing still. But if you just remember, always fire your secondary first into the primary. And if you have the chance, you're up close, you can always chain in a melee after your primary as well. So, right? And always dash backwards. If you dash forwards, not good. You can even dash to the side as well. Like, depending on what direction you want to go. Another thing that's pretty awesome with Phoenix is you can fly. You don't need to cancel the flight button with the cancel flight button. You can cancel the flight with a primary shot. And then as you fall down to the sky, to the ground, you can attack. So you can go up like this, ready? And then bam, bam, right? And you can even, let me just wait for this to recharge. It's a bit laggy. I'm on 200 ping servers, so that's why I'm kind of like falling to the ground a bit weirdly. But if I go up, right, and then you can go like this, you can lead with a secondary as well. Now, because there's a bit of a weird animation, yeah, like even when you're flying, always lead with a secondary if you want to do the combo. So you go secondary, primary, and then you can fly again, right? You can do all of that, drop down to the ground, and then reposition. And what's even cooler is you can go like that. So you can actually fly up in the sky like this, right? Do your primary, secondary, and then dash back to the ground if you need to. If you want to get to the ground really quickly. Or you can go like that. You can actually dash upwards, which is pretty underrated. I mean, for example, you're like this. You see a guy, you dash up. And then you can just fly away if you time it right. So you can dash up, look, dash up, look down, and then just fly away. Like I said, I got a bit of delay, so it's hard to do. Let me show you the flying, dash upwards and then fly like that. So that's a really good way to just like bamboozle people if you need to just break their line of sight. Like if you're up close and they're causing you a problem, especially if they're like a dive, you literally just dash upwards and then just go like that. And then they got to look behind you, right? And then you can even just go back there. So you kind of use like the flying is a bit of a like quick boost. So you fly and then just tap jump. And then you can kind of like get a bit of a boost, right? So you just fly, tap jump, fly. Instead of like just flying all the way up here, you're going to be a quite easy target. You can fly, tap, jump, and then fly again. So like this. And then the fly button the second time will cancel it. So this is pretty interesting. So this is really, really exciting because all of Phoenix's abilities basically chain together. As long as you lead with a secondary, if you want to do the best combos, then you can chain the secondary into a primary, into a melee, into a dash, into a fly. You can dash into the fly. You can fly into the dash, and that will still leave you in flying mode, by the way. So what's really cool is if you're like taking a lot of damage and you're flying, you could dash to the side like that, and then it'd be really hard to hit when you need to be, right? So everything is really free-flowing. So I think instead of trying to think about the best combo, just consider that everything can be comboed together. The only downside is this startup animation of the secondary. So yeah, I've said it a few times, but keep that in mind. And yeah, another really cool thing is it actually travels across walls. So if I fire it at the back of like here, oh, okay. It's going to travel like that across the wall. So if there's a bunch of people here, they'll actually get hit by that. So there's so much potential with Phoenix. I just wanted to showcase my findings so far. Have fun with Phoenix. She's a really fun character, probably way too powerful. And let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.